Good day, farmers. Just wanted now to give an update about the orchard. As you can see, it is now a bit on the green side. I don't know why this one is struggling. We'll double check and we'll see what nutrients we can give it to stop wilting, because it's actually wilting and it's showing signs of that there's something wrong with it. So we'll just double check and find out what's wrong, and then we'll try to help make sure that it grows without any further. But it's actually showing that it's going dying leaves and new leaves coming out. The apple tree that we cut, and it's actually showing new growth, new stems have started growing, the new leaves have actually started being produced on the sides, showing that this is on the right path of growth. And then we come to the lemon orange trees that we grew, the first ones. We now just need to now come through and make sure that we clear the weeds around these trees, and we get ready for them, and then we actually make sure that we drench them, and then make sure that we keep looking at them. So right now we're in the process of just looking at the tree. It's been raining quite a bit, so we have not been able to come out. Today is one of those few days where it has just been a bit sunny, so we are looking at that and looking at ways of making sure that today we have actually really gone into the fields. And mainly the first thing is obviously the cultivation of the maize crops. And on the orange trees, these are the other orange trees, as you can see, which are doing well. They have now shown that they are now established, they are now enrooted, and we just keep on monitoring the apple trees that we have grown. These are the other apple trees that we have planted, and we're just looking at them, monitoring. Everything right now is monitoring. On the tomato patch that we have been doing, there are some gaps in between. We are not going to put any more tomatoes. We're just going to leave them like that and just concentrate on the ones that are available. So we'll be looking at the tomatoes. Some have already started fruiting, as you can see here. We have some which have already started fruiting. So this has actually gone a bit well after all the little cut worm that we have here, the cricket that cuts these tomatoes. We're actually shocked that we still have quite a bit of those tomatoes, but they have been cut, a lot of them, especially at the other side where we have planted almost like 600 to 700 plants. That's area they have been cut. So we are just looking at the tomatoes, seeing what is best and how best we can grow them to get better yield from them. So as you can see, the maize, this is the maize cobs that we have. They're the ones which are actually in a very much more better stage than before. We have weeded this area, and we are now, next thing is after this weeding, tomorrow or the day after is to come with compound with AN and ammonium nitrate, and we will start feeding it to the plants so that they grow a bit faster. So this has been really, I can say it's been okay, because right now the rain has come through, things grow vegetatively, things become greener, but we're hoping that this rain season lasts at least until February, because if it doesn't, a lot of these crops will suffer and will not be having much of a crop if these things does not last until February. One, rains this year came in January, late December. This is when the rains have come, which means that we are really struggling for to make sure that these things actually reach to maturity and we actually get something, a harvest out of this. This is the true fact about farming. You've got to, if you want to do it with the rains, you've got to just gamble. Right now, these are the gambles that we do play when you do not have your own sources of water. The sources of water that we are saying is that you don't have a borehole that is able for you to be able to pump water, for you to be able to feed the crops. Now that means that you're relying on the rain. The rains, if they do not come, as you can see, it's a bit cloudy, but today has been more of a dry day. It hasn't yet rained today. So these are the challenges that you do get. And then you start feeling falsely, whereby you start feeling that everything is okay when you start seeing your water tables as high as this. This is like one of the water tables. It shows that there's a lot of water, but this is not really a good indication, because this has only happened over 1 week, less than a week of rains. So we need to be very careful and start thinking that the rains are good. It's not yet been that good. So if you do not have a borehole and you want to do farming on a big scale or semi scale, you need to make sure that you have all the components that will help you make sure that you're able to farm. These components mean water. Water is your major resource. The other things can come later. Everything else comes later. But once you have water, everything else falls in place. So for the maize, this is what we are doing. As I said, this year I was not patching a large patch. This small patch is the only patch that I've grown all the way to the end, that side. And I think just underneath these weeds, there should be a little bit more, which we planted recently. Yes, there are just a few more lines which we planted for now, which we are just going to be looking at and evaluating to see where they are and what we are going to get from those lines. So this is really about farming. We're almost at the end of the year. To all those people, Happy New Year. We'll see you in the new year, and I will always be updating you when and as much as possible where I can. So thank you very much for everyone who likes, subscribing to the channel, giving me the likes and giving me information and giving me the motivation to keep farming. Thank you very much, and I will see you all in the new year. Thank you and have a good day.